Okay, so today I just want to talk about something that happened to me on the 21st of December 2020. That day was absolutely wild. A lot of things happened on that day, but there was one thing that really made that day stand out. So the day started off very excitingly. Me and my friend Vincent, we will be going skiing together, and we have been planning that day for at least a week. And it would also be our first time going skiing for the 2020 to 2021 ski season, because obviously because of COVID we weren't able to go before that, and we probably won't be able to go anytime soon now because Ontario is going into another lockdown. So basically at the start of the day I packed up, we drove to the ski resort, and we were ready to ski, and I actually vlogged that day down with my GoPro, so I'll show you guys that now. So we just finished eating lunch. We had to eat at the car instead of the lodge because obviously COVID. And yeah, now we're gonna go back onto the grind. We're saucing that 25 again. I don't know why. After lunch I'm a little nervous again. Right? Sauce it. Vince! Ha! I got that on camera! Okay, so that is where the vlog will cut. You can see a very fun day. We had a lot of fun. I ended up not being able to record the rest of the day because it was already 4 and the ski resort closes at 4:30 for that day. So there was only 30 minutes left and my GoPro ran out of battery. There was also no point for us to just go back and charge our GoPro again because we won't be able to ski anymore because GoPro takes time to charge obviously, and we only had 30 minutes left. So we just decided to just ski the rest of the time. But something really interesting ended up happening during the time I did not record, and that is a ski accident. So basically you guys can see in the vlog that I have done a 25 feet jump multiple times. I'll just show some clips right here again. Hey. Oh! 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 Yay! Mama! Oh! Yo, mama! And yeah, in the last 30 minutes, at like around 4:15, I decided to go do that jump again, and that is where disaster happened. So basically, I came down, right? I went jumping, boom! I was in the air, and I land, and boom! I crashed. I wasn't able to land, and I crashed, and I hit hard, and hit the ground really, really hard. And I passed out. I lost conscious. And the next thing I knew, I was in a body bag and I was getting carried off of the ski resort. I was getting carried into the building to get checked up on. And because I lost my conscious between the time I hit the ground and between the time I got on the body bag and being carried away, I don't actually remember anything that happened between that time period. But the next thing I knew was I was getting carried away by the body bag. And my memory for that is also very vague because I was like barely conscious, like half conscious, half not conscious. And yeah, I was in a really bad state. And I got carried into the building to get checked up on by some medical staffs and everything. So then in the building, I was getting checked up on. They were asking me questions, how I'm feeling and everything. And, I was barely conscious. So my response was very vague and I was like barely speaking. And I was probably speaking like, blah, blah, blah. My name is Jorin and, I don't feel that good. And obviously they noticed that I was not okay, so they sent me on an emergency ambulance and sent me to the nearest hospital. And an hour after I got to the hospital, my mom took this picture. And I'm just gonna be honest, that picture did not look as bad as the time when I was on the ambulance. When I was on the ambulance, it looked real bad. I looked like I was dying. And at that time, people literally thought I was dying. I was going unconscious again. And my whole body, it was plugged with wires and everything. And there was machines connected to me and everything. And checking my heart rate and everything. And my breath rate and everything and like that. I'm not exactly too sure because I was barely conscious and I couldn't really see. My vision was very blurry, but I looked real bad and people thought I was dying. But luckily my condition, instead of getting worse, it got better. So then, after I got to the hospital, I was lying on a hospital bed and the doctors, they were pushing my hospital bed with me on it into an ECU room. And then they were checking up on me, trying to heal me, doing my condition and everything. And thankfully none of my bones broke. That is great. And after an hour, my mom arrived to the hospital and she was basically in the same room looking after me and waiting for me. And a lot of things happened between that period, getting checked up on. Many doctors came, asked me questions, recording my info. But basically at the end of the day, after a few more hours passed, I felt a lot better. I was able to sit up again, I was able to talk again, and I was able to see again. And obviously, I became conscious, but then my brain still hurts and my neck still had to be supported with that neck thingy. So then according to my condition and my response to their questions, they figured that I might have a brain injury and a neck injury, so they decided to go scan my brain and my neck. And thankfully my neck was all fine, and for my brain, out of all of the possibilities, like my brain bleeding, critically damaging my brain losing control on part of my body, becoming a stupid person, or even dying, I ended up only getting a concussion. So then after they scanned me, I just lied on the bed for about an hour more, and then I was able to be released at 11 p.m. at night. So basically I arrived into the hospital at 5 and I got released at 11, and I went home and I obviously went to sleep and I needed some healing. And for the next few days, I was just chilling at home, just healing. My brain still hurts for the next few days and multiple of my body parts still hurts, but I'm fine now. I am completely fine now. And yeah, that is basically the story of the 21st of December and how I messed myself up. And even though it did negatively affect me mentally and physically, I am not going to look at the event negatively, but instead I'm going to look at it positively, because obviously I learned a few good lessons. Well, first lesson is obviously do not be stupid. Do not risk the chance of injuring yourself critically just for the fun of doing something. Second lesson I learned is how much my life impacts other people. For example, my parents. When I got injured, my mom was worried sick. My mom rushed to the hospital, and my mom also messaged my dad about how I was doing, and my dad was also worried sick. And yeah, I basically kind of ruined their day by injuring myself. And my mom also ended up calling one of her friends to pick me up from the hospital at the end of the day. So I'm very thankful for my parents, and my mom's friend for doing that for me. So yeah, I basically learned that my actions actually impact other people, and it can impact negatively, just like how it happened that day. So yeah, now I actually learned that I have to be careful, because usually, you know, like if you kind of injure yourself, you know, it's just my own problem, like, you know, yeah, I got negatively impacted, whatever. But once you learn you impact other people negatively, it's like, oh no, I can do whatever I want to myself, but I obviously don't want to ruin other people's moods. And I also posted the picture of me in the hospital onto my Instagram the next day, and a lot of people commented asking me if I was okay and everything, and that actually meant a lot to me, because it actually made me feel like that I mean something to other people. The last lesson I learned from that experience was learning how privileged I am to actually be a normally perfectly healthy human being. You know, like I wasn't born having a disability or anything. I was born completely healthy, completely normal, and I have a completely healthy body. And usually I would take those privileges as granted, but now, after experiencing this, I actually feel very lucky to be a very healthy human, because I mean, during that whole experience, while I was still like half conscious and everything, I could still think, and I was just thinking to myself like, oh man, what if there's like permanent damage to my body or my brain because of this? How will the rest of my life be like? I was like, oh no, all these bad possibilities, and that really made me realize how bad it would be if something actually happened to my health. And while I was thinking, I was also like, oh man, wouldn't I be so lucky if I never had this crash, had this ski accident, if I never did anything so stupid, if I really cared about my health and everything. And that actually made me realize how much of a privilege I have to be a normally healthy human being. So yeah, guys, don't do anything stupid to really kill your body. One day, if you end up really ruining yourself, you will start regretting what you did, because you are actually very lucky to be very healthy. I don't know, like my wording for these are kind of bad, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying. I just can't really word anything good, because like I'm just a 14-year-old chilling, doing my stuff, learning about life and being stupid. I can't really word things properly, but I hope you get what I meant. Like, you are actually very lucky to be healthy, and you should try to protect that privilege, because many people, they weren't born with that privilege, and many people ended up losing that privilege, and their life really sucks. That's all I know. So you should feel really lucky to be healthy. And yeah, that is basically December 21st of 2020. There was obviously a lot to talk about, and all that injury and stuff. I'm going to try not to beat myself up mentally because of that mistake I did. Because, I mean, to be honest, life is all about making mistakes and learning from them, especially as a teenager. So I'm gonna try to not blame myself too hard and having too much regret about this. Especially since I said I'm gonna look at this positively instead of negatively. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. It actually means a lot. And bye.